You are too easy to read, too available, too desperate for someone to nod back at you. The moment you enter a room, everything about you is begging to be accepted, begging to belong. You laugh when nothing is funny, you agree when you don't mean it. You drown the silence in pointless words because the quiet makes you feel invisible, and the world notices every single bit of it. People don't have to be monsters to sense weakness, they just have to be alive. The moment someone detects that you need their approval, something shifts in them. You get filed away. The harmless one, the agreeable one, the one who will always say yes. And once you are filed away like that, you stop being a factor. You stop being considered. Harmless men get used. They don't get remembered. But there is another kind of presence entirely. The kind that doesn't chase attention yet pulls it from across the room. A stillness so absolute, so undeniable, that it unsettles people. Not because it threatens them physically, but because it is something they have never encountered before. It is the bearing of a man who stopped needing the crowd's permission a long time ago because he built something entirely his own. Machiavelli understood this. He wrote it in the candlelight of Italian power rooms for princes who wanted to last. He understood that love is optional. People give it when they feel like it and withdraw it just as easily. But deep respect, the kind forged from awe, that does not loosen. That is a grip no one escapes. We are not here today to talk about self-worth mantras. We are not here to think positive thoughts. What we are doing today is an operation. We are cutting open the psychology you have been running and removing what is rotting inside it. Then we are replacing it with the architecture of someone who rules his own world. You are about to learn how to become psychologically untouchable, but I am warning you now. There is no coming back from this. People around you will shift. The easy warmth of blending in will disappear, and in its place will come something colder and far more valuable. If you want to stay comfortable and invisible, close this now. But if you are ready to stop being the piece that gets moved and start being the hand that moves, stay with me. Here is the core problem. You are not weak because you lack something. You are weak because you are leaking. Every single day you are hemorrhaging authority in 7 specific ways. Seal the leaks and the power stops draining. When the power stops draining, it builds. When it builds, you become something else entirely. Let us begin. The first law, execute the nice guy. You were handed a lie before you were old enough to question it. Be good and the world will be good back. Be polite and life will reward you. Color inside the lines and you will be protected. Now look at your actual life. Is that what is happening? Or are the ones who take what they want the ones who are winning? Machiavelli put it plainly. A man committed to being good in a world full of those who are not will eventually be destroyed by it. If you are playing by the rules of kindness in a game where everyone else is playing for leverage, you will lose. Every time. Niceness is not virtue. Niceness is a defense mechanism. It is a white flag raised before the battle even begins. It says, I will not challenge you. Please do not come for me. It is submission disguised as warmth. Real confidence begins when you swap niceness for civility. The difference is everything. Civility is a standard you hold yourself to because of who you are, not because of who you want people to think you are. The nice guy smiles to protect himself. The grounded man is courteous because he respects his own conduct. He opens doors. He speaks with calm. He uses manners. But behind those eyes there is nothing soft. He is not auditioning for your approval. He simply lives by a code. And if you cross that line, what disappears is not replaced by anger. It is replaced by something far colder, ice. The moment you stop performing for people's approval, you become unreadable. And unreadable is where the real power lives. Think about the boss who screams. Annoying, yes. Threatening, not really. You know what he wants. He wants someone to absorb his mood. He is a child in a suit. Now picture the other one, the one who never raises his voice, who stares at you without expression when you fail, who speaks softly and slowly, whose smile never quite reaches his eyes. That man lives in your head rent-free. Why? Because you cannot map him. You cannot predict his next move. He has surgically removed his emotional reactions from the equation, and that makes him genuinely terrifying. To get there, start small. Audit your face for 1 week. How many times do you smile at something that is not funny? How many times do you laugh just to soften the air? That is submission broadcast in real time. It tells the room you are not a threat. Stop it. Let your face rest. Hold eye contact without rushing to make people comfortable. When you stop transmitting reassurance, people become uneasy. They will ask if something is wrong. That discomfort you are causing, that is the power balance tilting. That is them realizing they can no longer predict you. You have gone from an open book to a sealed vault in a room full of people reading each other out loud. The second law, master the vacuum of silence. Most people are terrified of a pause. Watch two anxious people in conversation. They trip over each other. They fill every crack of silence because the quiet feels like condemnation. They are using words as bricks to build a bridge across their own insecurity. The Machiavellian mind works in reverse. He does not fill the void, he creates it. Silence is not absence. Silence is gravity. When you go quiet, the people around you, driven by their own discomfort, will rush to fill that space. They will say more than they intended. They will make concessions they had not planned to make. They will hand you leverage just to kill the awkwardness. Here is how you use it. Next time someone asks you something, do not fire back immediately. Let 2 seconds pass, 3 seconds. Keep your eyes steady on them. Then answer. In those 3 seconds, their brain is spiraling. Did I ask something wrong? Is he offended? What is he calculating? You have already taken control and you have not said a single word yet. When you do speak, slow it down. Rapid speech is a tell. It signals that you are afraid of being cut off or that you believe your words do not deserve space. Speaking slowly says something completely different. It says, I expect to be heard. I have nowhere I need to rush to and no one I need to impress. A king does not scramble through a decree. He delivers it like the room was built to receive it. And if someone cuts you off mid-sentence, do not fight for the floor. Do not raise your voice. Simply stop. Go completely still. Eyes on the person who interrupted. Let the silence sit there until the room feels the weight of what just happened. They will stumble. They will apologize. They will fade. Then you pick up exactly where you were, same pace, same volume. You did not wrestle for the floor. You simply reminded everyone that you already own it. The third law, starve the need for validation. External approval is an addiction. Every time you check for a reaction, every time you fish for a compliment, every time you explain yourself to someone who has no right to your explanation, you are feeding it. And you cannot be psychologically dominant while you are dependent on other people's opinions to feel real. If a compliment can make your entire day, someone owns you. If an insult can wreck your entire week, someone owns you. You are a puppet and your emotional state is the string. To become untouchable, you must reach a place of internal zero. Not numbness, not emotional absence, just a self-image that is not open to public input. When someone praises you, your inner response is quiet. I already know what I am. When someone attacks you, the response is the same. I already know what I am. Neither moves the needle. When people encounter someone who genuinely does not need their validation, it throws them. We are all running on an unspoken exchange. You affirm me, I affirm you. When you opt out of that system entirely, you become something people cannot compute. They will push harder to impress you. They will try to provoke a reaction just to confirm you are human. And that is the test. Machiavelli observed that those who seek to manipulate always find someone willing to be manipulated. The same goes for provocation. Those who seek a reaction will always find someone insecure enough to give them one. When you are insulted, your instinct is to explain, defend, retaliate. Resist it entirely. Defense signals the attack landed. Explanation grants the attacker the authority to judge you. Instead, agree and move on. Someone calls you arrogant. The insecure man argues. The grounded man says, I have heard worse from more qualified people. Or he simply says okay and returns to what he was doing. When you refuse to engage with the weapon disappears. Nothing disturbs a bully more than a target who is visibly bored by them. The fourth law, carry the posture of the apex. Your mindset shapes your body, yes, but your body also shapes your mindset. You cannot carry the presence of someone who has nothing to prove while physically collapsing into yourself. Look at how you are sitting right now. Are your shoulders caved inward? Is your head tilted down? Are you making yourself smaller, expand? The posture of a dominant man is open, chest out, vitals exposed. This sounds backwards. In a physical confrontation, you guard your core, But in social dynamics, exposing your chest and stomach is a declaration. It says, I am not afraid of what is in front of me. I do not need a shield. Take up the space you are in. Own the chair. Ground both feet. Stand as though you were placed there and have no intention of moving. And the eyes. Your eyes are doing more than you realize. Most people have the eyes of prey, darting, scanning, checking corners, looking for the nearest exit or the nearest approval. That is how a rabbit moves through a field. A predator does not scan, a predator locks. Train your gaze to move with purpose. When you look at something, fully look at it. When you shift your attention, shift it smoothly. When you walk, pick a destination and go there. No wavering, no sideways shuffling, no apologetic little dances in a hallway. The man who owns his direction owns the space. When you move with absolute momentum, people feel it before they see it. They step aside, not because you demanded it, because your vector communicated that you were not planning to adjust. The fifth law, withdraw the supply. We live inside an economy of attention, and you are giving yours away at zero cost. You reply to everything instantly. You show up to everything you are invited to. You linger even when the energy is dead because leaving feels rude. You have made yourself permanently available, and in doing so you have made yourself worth nothing. Supply and demand is not just economics. It is human psychology. Machiavelli told the prince to be visible but not accessible. Distance creates gravity. Constant presence destroys it. If you want your attention to carry weight, it must be rationed. In every negotiation, in every relationship, in every room, the one who is most prepared to walk away holds all the power. If you are afraid of losing the woman, she already controls the relationship. If losing the job terrifies you, your employer already owns your decisions. If you cannot imagine losing the friendship, the friend has already taken your spine. Practice leaving first. Exit the party while it is still good. End the call before they are ready for it to end. Leave the conversation at its peak. What this does in the other person's mind is irreplaceable. They wonder where you went. What called you away? Whether something or someone more interesting pulled you. You become a question that needs answering. And unsolved questions create obsession. Do not explain your exits. I need to go is a complete sentence. The man who explains his schedule is broadcasting that he needs you to think his reasons are good enough. The man who simply leaves is broadcasting that his time belongs to him and requires no defense. Keep your personal life sealed. Do not unload your vulnerabilities on people you barely know. In a culture drowning in oversharing, the one who holds his cards is the one with the hand worth watching. The sixth law, let competence be your foundation. Everything above is posture and positioning. Without something underneath it, it all collapses. Tactics built on nothing are manipulation, and manipulation eventually gets exposed. To be genuinely untouchable, to carry real weight in any room, you must be dangerous in the truest sense. Dangerous with skill. Dangerous with knowledge. Dangerous with capability. Machiavelli did not tell the prince to perform authority. He told him to study war, to understand geography, to know more than the men advising him, because real power is not performed, it is built. If you are hollow inside, your silence is not mysterious, it is awkward. Your stillness is not commanding, it is uncomfortable. The brain is not deceived by its own performance. You can repeat affirmations until your throat gives out, but if you have not done anything difficult, your brain already knows. It will whisper to you at night that you are a fraud. True confidence is not a feeling you manufacture. It is a byproduct of evidence. The evidence of hard things done, promises to yourself kept, skills developed over time. The surgeon in an operating room is not calm because he decided to feel calm that morning. He is calm because he has done this 1,000 times and he knows what to do. That is real composure. That is the kind that does not crack under pressure. Master something, your field, your craft. The ability to listen at a level most people never reach. The ability to read a situation and say the one thing that cuts through the noise. When you speak infrequently but speak with precision, the room reorganizes itself around your next sentence. People wait for it. That is not performance. That is gravity earned through substance. The seventh law, accept the villain role. This is where most people stop. This is the wall. You are terrified of being disliked. You are terrified that a boundary will make you seem cold, that saying no will make you seem selfish, That succeeding will make you seem arrogant, so you hold back, you shrink back, you water yourself down so nobody calls you difficult, and your life stays exactly the size of other people's comfort with you. Here is the reality. You cannot run your own life without at some point disappointing someone else. That is not a flaw in the system. That is the system. Every hour you invest in your own goals is an hour someone else wanted from you. Every no you speak is a yes to yourself. Every boundary you set disturbs someone who benefited from its absence. Machiavelli wrote that a prince who wants to hold his position must know how to act against what is expected when the situation demands it. He was not advocating cruelty. He was advocating clarity, the willingness to be disliked for legitimate reasons. The man who has accepted this does not argue with the parasite. He simply removes it. Once you stop dreading the word selfish, you become free in a way most people never experience. Can you help me this weekend? No, that is selfish. If that is how you see it, conversation over. You do not owe anyone your time, your energy, or your presence on demand. What you owe is your own potential, the conditions it needs to become what it is meant to be. If standing firm in that makes you the villain in someone else's version of events, wear it without apology. The moment you release the need to be the hero in every room is the moment you become the one directing what happens in yours. So how do you start? Not all at once. You shift the geometry of one interaction at a time. Tomorrow, you walk slower. You wait 3 full seconds before responding to any question. You let your face rest instead of performing comfort for others. You stop apologizing for the space you occupy. Your inner people pleaser will panic. That voice that has been managing your social life for years will scream that you are being strange, that people are uncomfortable, that you need to fix it. Let it scream. Watch it run out of air. The air around you will change. The casual backslapping will thin out, but people will start looking you in the eye differently. The banter fades and something quieter and more substantial takes its place. You will begin to understand that the unease you create is not fear of violence. It is the disorientation of encountering someone who is completely, unapologetically whole. Most people are assembled from fragments, their parents' voices, their old wounds, the version of themselves that society approved. When they encounter a man who is integrated, unified, fully himself, it unsettles everything they have been carrying. It holds up a mirror to everything they have been avoiding. That is the power of the person who refuses to drift. You are not here to blend into the current. You are here to be the fixed point everything else moves around. Machiavelli did not write for the masses. He wrote for the few with the Constitution to do what ruling actually requires. The question is whether you are one of them. Confidence is not a mood. It is a tool. Pick it up. Use it to dismantle the version of you that has been living on other people's approval. Use it to build something that belongs entirely to you. Become the presence they cannot ignore, so you can finally become the man you actually respect.